welcome back to Sunday Reads with Renee at Simply Renee. My name is Renee, and thank you so much for tuning in. Before I begin, I wanted to thank everyone who's subscribed to my channel, as well as watched my videos, liked, commented, and shared them as well. I truly appreciate it, and it helps my channel to grow, and I hope to bring you more exciting content as time goes by as well. So I just want to say thank you so much for always tuning in, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and liking my videos. For this video of Sunday Reads with Renee, I wanted to talk about the reasons why I like to reread some books. And by some books, I'm referring more to ones that are my all-time favorites or just my top favorites that I love rereading all the time. And the ones that I may have enjoyed before, maybe want to give another reread, or the ones that maybe I didn't like before but want to give a reread to try and see if perspectives have changed and maybe I'll feel differently about it. I also want to discuss the benefits of rereading as well, and I hope you'll enjoy this video. Before I begin, though, I want to let everyone know that I will be revealing plot details of some books that I talk about here, therefore, spoilers are ahead. This year alone, I've reread a handful of books such as There by Tommy Orange and Convenience Store Woman by Sakaya Murata, and I still enjoy them even after rereading them again. And I'm very happy about that because I liked those books before and I still enjoy them even now. And then there are times where I might reread a book that didn't really gravitate to me like before. In that case, it would be In the Woods by Tana French. I first read this in 2019 and remember liking and enjoying it, but then I reread it in 2024 and felt very differently about it. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that in 2019 I had more time on my hands to read the book, whereas in 2024 I didn't so much, not because it's a mystery book where I already knew the reveal, but mainly just because I didn't really have enough time to reread in 2024 like I did in 2019 because I felt this time around it went along a little bit longer than it needed to and felt it could have been resolved much quicker. And there's also the fact that the way it was written and everything. So I think that's just kind of how I was feeling about it in 2024 compared to 2019. As such, my perspective changed, and I think that can happen with a lot of books as we go through them and reread them consistently, whether it's the second or the third time. I never really liked Jane Austen's Emma when I first read the book 20 years ago, but now have more appreciation for it due to rereads and changed perspective. I was not really drawn to the character's personal growth at the time, and now having gone through it myself, I relate more to the character development Emma goes through, learning her lessons along the way to find unexpected happiness and become a more evolved person. The same can be said of Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. When I read the novella in 2020, I related a lot to Keiko because I was in a similar situation working a job that was viewed as dead end and no prospects, being in my early 30s without marriage and kids, and just getting a lot of judgment to fit into societal views. In fairness, Murata wrote from the Japanese society perspective, which is different from the American society one. At the same time, I do see a little bit of similarities, though it's based more on my own experience. I'm in my late 30s, and there is a little bit of pressure, not too much, but pressure on why I didn't get married or have kids yet. And there's also was that pressure of being in a job that I liked, but wasn't really moving forward in where I needed to be. So I think there are some similarities to it, but the two societies are very different in how they view things currently. Surprisingly, my perspectives about convenience store women have changed compared to Emma, not only because in 2020 I was in a very different place compared to where I am now in 2025. I've moved into a job that I do like and is a little bit moving me forward in my career. And Keiko at the end is content with what she has in there, which I think is great. I think you should be happy wherever you are and really enjoy that. And I think that's why I still resonate with the novel even 5 years later, despite how much my life has changed from 2020 compared to 2025. With Keiko, she was relatable to me and it was fitting to me and similar because I was in the same situation as she was with a job that I liked but wasn't really going anywhere, not being married or having kids. And while I'm not married or having kids at this time point in time, I'm okay with the job I have and I've moved on into the current job that I have because I didn't really want to be in that previous job, if any of that makes sense. But I still like the book and how it ended, where it's more about Keiko's reflection and her happiness at where she is and where she wants to be. And maybe she'll move into higher end positions. That's a fan fiction idea I have. But I still do feel changing perspectives with Convenience Store Woman compared to Emma. Yeah, I still love Convenience Store Woman because it still tugs at my heart and makes me feel good about the emotions that were written in that book. Another benefit to rereading books is that you gain a little bit more of a deeper understanding of themes, what the author is trying to say, and other things when you start to reread them and get them a little bit more, especially if you get older or you decide to do a more deep dive analysis. Upon my reread of Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights in 2024, I had a better perspective of what Bronte was trying to say. The cruelty of life, how romance and love can be dark, toxic, obsessive, and destructive, how soulmates are at times not right for each other, how revenge and trauma destroys not only those around you, but can also affect the next generation. When it came to Agatha Christie, I often saw her novels as simple mysteries with memorable characters and plot twists. However, the deeper you analyze and peel back the layers, you find a lot of darkness and moral type themes at its heart. Her novel, And Then There Were None, is more than just a mysterious vigilante out for revenge in a form of justice on 10 people who escaped their guilty crimes. It is also about a flawed justice system, paranoia, a lack of remorse, guilt and conscience, and fear of death. At the same time, its theme of vigilantism questions morality, making the novel a still intriguing one more than 80 years after its publication. Another benefit to rereading books is because if it gave you some kind of comfort or pure enjoyment, then it's always good to reread them. Because if you're in a bit of a reading slump or you just have a mood where you want to read some book that you really enjoyed the first time around, whether it was a comfort read or something you just liked, even though it didn't have a lot of comfort to it, that can be good with rereading a book and really enjoying it the second or third time around, or whichever time you're reading it again. In terms of comfort, my go to books are often the feel goods, whether they're romance or not. I love Jane Austen's novels because of their memorable characters, personal growth, and the romance. There's also Evie Drake Starts Over by Linda Holmes, which is more than a romance, but also personal growth and development, where the ending feels right to me, giving a form of comfort. There's also Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery, where Anne Shirley is still the spunky, imaginative redhead we love who grows into a fine young woman with goals and dreams thanks to the stability she has in her life, even finding happiness after a troubled and traumatic childhood. I do think pure enjoyment can be done even if the book is not a feel good read, though. Eight Perfect M Word by Peter Swanson and Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn are excellent suspense mysteries that keep me engaged no matter how many times I have read them. And while Beloved by Toni Morrison and The Color Purple by Alice Walker are thought provoking hard reads, I still enjoy the themes, meaning, and story structures, how they grapple with racism, loss, and so much more. But these are just my general opinions about why I reread some books, and I'd like to hear more from you. Have there been books that you reread constantly and always enjoy no matter what? Do you find deeper meaning in them when you reread them? Are there some books you've reread and gained a different perspective on? Are there some books you've reread but still feel the same way about? Or perhaps you've had a different opinion about a book and your mind has changed. Perhaps you've loved that book in the past, but maybe you just don't like it again upon a second, third, or however many times you've reread it this time around. Please let me know in the comments. I welcome all discussions and I'd love to hear from you. I thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell. I'll be back next week with another Sunday Reads video and Wednesday with another video as well. Please also be sure to look out for more YouTube shorts as I'm putting a little bit more of them out coming this week, which I'm really excited for. I thank you so much again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.